For Excel exercise number 5, we are going to be the buyer for Revolve Clothing, and we will be writing one purchase order for Vents, which is a women's clothing line of woven blouses and cashmere knits for spring summer 2015. So let's begin by opening up a new Excel workbook. Once you have your workbook open, we will then type out our headers for all of the different styles and metrics that we will be looking at for our buy. So first off, let's go ahead and type vendor. Next, we will type the season, the department, style number, style description, the color, the size, the unit cost, the MSRP. This is what the vendor is suggesting we sell the item at. So these are the basic components we first need to look at as we begin to decide which styles we would like to purchase. So we already know the vendor we will be purchasing from is Vents. So we can go ahead and type Vents, and we know we will be buying 4 styles. The season we will be buying for is spring summer 2015. So we will go ahead and type SPR-SUM 15. Copy our cells and drag it all the way down. Next, the department we will be buying for are the tops. Now the other information, our style number, our style description, our color, our size, our unit cost, and the MSRP are what we need to look at when we decide which styles we would like to buy. So let's go over to the revolveclothing.com website, find Vents to select the styles we would like to purchase. So what you can do is you can go to revolveclothing.com, highlight the Designers tab, and select Vents. Once you have selected Vents, go over to the left side of your screen and select Tops. Now, these are all of the styles of tops within Vents, and these are the styles we will be choosing to purchase from. So first off, let's go ahead and scroll through what we think we would like to purchase. We can see up here, the long sleeve raglan tee has 2 colorways. We want to make sure we purchase a style that comes in 2 colorways. So let's go ahead and select the style. So for the first style, we will make sure we purchase the off-white. We will copy the description, long sleeve raglan. Make sure you paste that description into your purchase order, or you can simply type it. We know we're going to buy each color, which is why I had just typed this twice. Now, we can see that the style comes in extra small through large. So we'll type extra small through large. Oh, I'm sorry. This needs to go on the size. Next, we will begin to decide the colors that we would like to purchase. So since these only come in 2 different colors, we know we want to purchase each color. The first color we will purchase is the Shiraz. And the next color we will purchase is the Off-White. Next, we need to find the style number for this top. So we will scroll down, and on the right side of the description, we can see there's a Revolve style number and the manufacturer style number. The Revolve style number is the style number that the website revolveclothing.com uses to identify this item. The manufacturer style number is the style number that the brand or vendor Vince uses to identify this style. So for the purpose of our purchase order, we will be using the manufacturer style number. Once we have purchased this item, then we can go ahead and create our own style number for our own inventory tracking purposes. However, for your purchase order, when you're purchasing it directly from the vendor, you need to tell the vendor which style you're purchasing, so it must be their style number. So let's go ahead and copy their style number. I will now paste the style number in, and we will select the Shiraz color now to make sure that the style number is the same. If it is the same, we will once again paste the color or the style number here as well. If it is not the same, you will make sure you paste the correct style number that coordinates with the correct color. Some vendors might have different style numbers, even if it is the same top, but the color may be different. However, most vendors will use the same style number and just add a different color code after the style number to identify the style color. So for the purpose of events, they maintain the same style number for both colors, as most retailers and most vendors do. So now that we have our first 2 styles, the long sleeve raglan in Shiraz and the long sleeve raglan in Off-White, we now need to determine what the MSRP is for this item. The MSRP is always the first retail price the item goes out at, and is also what the manufacturer is suggesting you retail the item at. So we can see the MSRP is $135. When we click on the white, it looks like it had been marked down on a Revolve Clothing website. However, we can see the original retail was $135. So this $135 is what you will see on the line sheet coming from the vendor. At that point after, you can choose to put it on a separate retail price than the MSRP. However, most vendors strongly advise, and it really depends on what agreement you have with them, that you put it out at their MSRP. And you will have to maintain at this MSRP for X amount of time. Maybe the first 4 weeks that you have the item, you cannot mark it down. So it really depends on the agreement that you and the vendor have. However, we will go ahead and use the original retail price as the MSRP, and we will also use that original retail price, the MSRP, as what we would like to sell the item at to our consumers. So we have our MSRP for this style. Of course, we don't have the cost because we are looking at a retail website. We will have to calculate the cost ourselves. Let's go back to the other event styles and let's select another top to purchase. Let's purchase this one in our line. This is the color block long sleeve tee. Once again, I'm copying the description. I will paste it. under the description. The color for this style is considered black and bone. So we will type in black and bone. And the size run that this style comes in looks like currently Revolve has extra small through medium. However, we know Vince usually goes through extra small through large. So we will carry extra small through large on our line sheet. Because this is a line sheet, it's an initial buy. We want to know the full size range the style is available in. We're not going to take the selected sizes that may be still available on Revolve clothing. We will use the total size range this style was originally available in. So next, let's go ahead and grab our style number. I will highlight the manufacturer style number, copy, and paste it. The cost of this tee is $145, so we will then input $145 into our MSRP. So we have 3 of our 4 styles that we're looking to buy. Next, let's go ahead and pick one more style. And let's select the ladder stitch drape tee. So we will copy the description, paste it into our purchase order. I am retyping the description because I like for everything to be consistent. So I would like to take the caps off and just put it into our normal writing. So if you would like to leave caps, if you just copy and paste, you can do so. I like for everything to be consistent with my writing. So next, we can also see it looks like the size is sold out in the other sizes. So let's go ahead and use the standard sizing we know Vince comes in, which is extra small through large, and apply that as well. The color for this tee is black. So we will type black. Our style number for this tee is down here. So we will copy that. Make sure to paste it. And now let's also pull the MSRP price, which is the $195. So we will type in our $195. Okay, so these are the main metrics we're looking at for our purchase order. Now we need to figure out what the total cost for these items will be, what our total retail price for these items will be, and also what the markup percent is going to be, as well as our markup dollars. So for the purpose of our sheet and our purchase order, we will have a markup percent of 52.5%. If we know that our MSRP is $135 for the first top, $145 for the second top, and $195 for the third top, we're simply taking that MSRP price times our 1 minus the markup percent. This will now get us the unit cost of $64.13. I will do the same thing for the second top. We take our MSRP, we multiply that by 1 minus 52.5%. Because the first two style numbers are the same style numbers, just coming in different colors, the MSRP prices are the same, so the cost will be the same for these two. For our color block long sleeve tee, we'll take our MSRP times our 1 minus our markup percent. And we can see that the color block long sleeve tee is $68.88 cost. And we will need to do the same thing for the last ladder stitch drape tee. Take our MSRP, multiply it by 1 minus the 52.5% markup percent. So we can see the last style, the ladder stitch drape tee, has a unit cost of $92.63. So now we need to decide how many units we would like to purchase, as well as evaluating our total costs for the amount of units we would like to purchase, the total retail for the amount of units we would like to purchase, and our total markup dollars. So we will go ahead and type in unit quantity to display how many units we would actually like to purchase. So we can purchase no more than 12 units for all sizes per colorway. So that means even though this first style, the long sleeve raglan, comes in extra small through large and 2 different colors, I cannot purchase more than 12 units for the Shiraz color, and I cannot purchase more than 12 units for the off-white color. So we want to stay at the 12 unit maximum. So we will say we can place 10 units on the Shiraz, and let's place the full 12 units on our off-white. The color block long sleeve tee, we will go ahead and purchase maybe 10 units of this style, and the ladder stitch drape tee, let's go ahead and place 8 units of this style. So we can see the first style we're purchasing 10 units, the second style 12 units, the third style 10 units, and the last style 8 units. Next, from here, we will then go ahead and figure out the total cost of the items. So type in total cost. We will now take our total unit quantity purchased times the unit cost to get our total unit cost. Next, we need to know our total retail. Remember, even though the unit cost is what we will actually be paying to the vendor, we also want to look at it in terms of total retail, because this is what we will be bringing back to our buying and planning team, so we can then input these numbers and take them into account into our open-to-buys and our merchandise plans. Everything we look at is on the retail level, so even though we're only physically paying the cost, we need to look at it and analyze it on terms of the retail level, because we also look at our sales in terms of the retail level. So we need to know the total retail value of this. Our open-to-buys are placed on the retail level, as well as our merchandise plans. So we need to know how many dollars this will take away from our open-to-buy eventually. So let's figure out our MSRP times the total unit quantity we are purchasing. Drag our formula down, and we can now see the total retail value of these styles. So let's go ahead and add all of these up. We have 40 units that we are purchasing in total. we have $2,840 we're spending on these 40 units. And these 40 units will be retailing at $5,980. Next, let's take a look at our markup dollars. So we take our retail minus our cost, and we can see we will be marking up these items in total by $3,139. So next from here, we know that our markup percent is the 52.5%. That is not changing. That is what we agreed on with our vendor. So now to figure out the total unit cost for all these items, we will take our total unit quantity, total cost divided by our total unit quantity. And on average, all of the units in this purchase order are costing about $71. Next, we will do the same thing with our MSRP. We'll take our total retail value, divide it by the total quantity we are purchasing. So each item in this order on average is going to cost $149.50. Let's go ahead and do some formatting. And this is our purchase order. So we have our vendor that we are purchasing from events for spring 2015. For our tops department, we have the vendor style number we will be using to notify events these are the styles we want to be purchasing from them. The description of the styles, the actual color of the styles, the size range for these styles, the markup percent that we have agreed on with our vendor, our unit cost, the MSRP, which is also what we will be maintaining as our original retail price, the total unit quantity that we are choosing to purchase, our total cost, our total retail dollars, and our total markup dollars. So this is our complete purchase order. Let's also go ahead and rename our tab. We will name this Events PO Spring Summer 15. I will also save my file. As Events Spring Summer 15 PO, standing for purchase order. And that is it. You have now created a purchase order and have bought 4 items from the events line.